And the music intro has been brought to you by Ezra. Hello, I am Emily, and this is
Ezra.
And I can be found on Ravelry as Little Critters. I also set up a forum on Ravelry called OnceUponaTime YARNS. And I know I do have a problem saying Ravelry. I don't know why.
You just said it right, so
maybe.
Yeah, you did.
I always mess up words.
Just don't bring it up.
It's a talent I have.
Yeah, we both have a talent.
So anyway, you're more than welcome to go over to the Once Upon a Time Yarns and join. We might have some forums going on, some discussions going on. Maybe after this podcast, I can think of a question to ask, and maybe you'll win a prize or something like that, because people love winning prizes. So this podcast is a podcast that I'm doing with my son, and it is about knitting, crocheting, fiber arts. It's about fine arts. It's about art education, because I'm also a K-5 elementary school teacher. And then Ezra's going to have a little piece at the very end about nature and something that he'd like to talk about with nature.
But I can be found at blogger.com, powered by Blogger, and it is my blog site.
Yeah.
Very big ideas, and I just made a post.
Yeah.
I will make a new one probably maybe today, if we can, because we've had technical difficulties with the internet connection, which is really annoying us. We have a new computer coming, so we might, if we get a new computer, it might look a little bigger to you. So
maybe.
Yeah, you can tell. We'll tell you.
But you know what I'll do is I will post. I'll try to post show notes at some point, and I will post a link to his blog. If you do go and check out his blog, please make sure that you leave a comment, because he would love to know that you stopped by and are reading his mind.
Just to tell you, I'm hopeful that you will give me comments from people I don't know, because lately I've been getting comments from people I do know. So don't just do it because you like me or you. Well, not like you from my family.
In other words,
love me.
He's wanting to get people who don't know us. So he thinks that's interesting if he gets people from far away, right?
Yeah, because then the Lord liking me. If my family does it, then that means I feel like they're just doing it because
he's cute.
Because they like me.
Well, I think we don't just like you; we love you.
Yeah. Because we're family, of course. So anyways, it's over now.
Yeah, we're gonna start off. Always talking about knitting or crocheting. Currently, I have tried to do a crochet project. If you watched the last project or the last podcast, I wanted to do the shawl. It's called the Sunset Shawl by Lorinda Redding, and it's really pretty. I saw it, and as soon as I saw it, I instantly bought it, and I thought it was really, really cool. So with this pattern, Black Trillium Fibers also does a gradient yarn. So she actually knit this pattern using Black Trillium Fibers. So I immediately went to Black Trillium Fibers and I ordered, let's see if I got it this time. Oh, I did. And I ordered their zinc. Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
I thought I got it. Oh, man. We ordered their, I ordered their zinc colorway, which is a gradient. And I believe this is, what is it? It's merino and silk. So it's kind of shiny. It's very, it's a fingering weight sock. It's,
she's making a shawl. Basically, yeah, like she showed you.
Yeah. She
did a shawl. Before we started this podcast and stuff, the shawl is up there. And that's basically the shawl we did. And now she's doing a new shawl.
So, I bought the fiber. I practiced before the fiber came. I took a craftsy class on crocheting a shawl. And I tried it over and over and over again because I wanted to get it right. And what's funny is, and this can be one of our...
you didn't get it right.
Our posts on the Once Upon a Time Yarns forum on Ravelry is, which do you think is harder, crochet or knitting? Because I used to get that question all the time, and I would instantly say, knitting's harder and crochet is super easy. And at that point, I had just crocheted like simple pieces, like those little mandalas in the round, or a granny square or something like that. But I never did something where it had to be the same as the other side.
You want to join us?
Our kitty's here.
The kitty wants to join us. We have 2 cats. These are for. These are for.
I don't think she wants to be carried, though, Bug.
I'll show you to it.
We're working on not carrying it out. Okay, so anyways, so I started working on the shawl. So as you can see, this is the lighter part right here, and it starts work. I decided to go, the pattern said to do dark to light. I decided I wanted to do light to dark. So this is what is turning out. Well, I am extremely frustrated because I've started over 1,000 times, and this is supposed to be straight. So as you can see, it's not straight. So right here is supposed to be straight, but it's curving. So I had quite a conundrum. I didn't know if I should keep going just to keep going and just see what happens and figure out a way to wear it creatively, or to start over and figure out what I did wrong. I didn't know if I should stop, block it, and see if I can straighten it out, like just by stretching it. So I thought about it, and it really frustrates me because I'm the type of person where if I start something, I want to finish it, and I really love the shawl.
Yeah.
But I decided to put it on hold. So I kind of folded it up, and I put it back into the drawer, and I decided this yarn is so beautiful. Even though it's gray, it's just gorgeous, this beautiful gradient of gray. So I'm going to put it on hold, and I'm going to think about maybe one day I'll revisit it. Maybe I'll frog it and do something else with it. Maybe I'll take a crochet class and then come back to it, like an actual one at my local yard store. So that I'm still debating. And I'm kind of bummed because it's such a beautiful colorway. But it was just hard. And I don't know why it's curving. Like I said, I started over so many times. The stitches are pretty much easy. But it is quite a question. Not quite a question, but it is a question. I mean, which do you think is easier, crochet or knitting?
Well,
and if you do both, it'd be interesting to see your point of view, because like I said, I always thought crochet, hands down, was the easiest, but now I'm kind of wondering if it is. Dun dun dun.
Speaking of that, there's something I would like to show you that she knitted me. Oh, hold on.
So, what we're going to do is the next thing that I'm going to start knitting, because I can't never not knit. So what I did last night is I decided to do, and now I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but it's the Joji. I don't know. She's really hot right now. Like everybody seems to be knitting her, and she has the Imagine When shawl, and I saw it on the Tiny Paper Foxes, which is now called something else, but I saw it on the Tiny Paper Foxes, either a picture on her Instagram or when I was browsing through her picture, I don't know. But anyways, I saw it and I loved it. And then I found out it was Joji. And then I found out that the Grocery Girls, which is a podcast that I love to watch, they are doing a knitting along, a summer knit along with the Joji, and if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, I'm really sorry. So again, I was leaning more towards gray. So, trying to dye yarns, as I am, so I thought, okay, I can either go to my yarn store and spend $60 on yarn, because I think it calls for 500 yards, or I can dye up my own. So this morning, I dyed up, and again, I wanted gray, but I wanted it to be kind of tonal. So, I dyed up this yarn here, and I did a hand dye. I've done kettle, and I've done, kettle, and I've done hand dyeing, or hand painting, I should say. And I'm trying to decide, as a yarn dyer, which one I like better. So far, I like hand dyeing because you can control it, but kettle, I think you get more of a tonal color. So I'm just I'm still at the beginning stages of being a yarn dyer, so I'm not going to give up because I absolutely love it, but I'm still trying to find my kind of like when you're painting or something like that, you have to find your, I don't know, your way or the way you do things. So I still haven't found my way I like to do things exactly. Anyways, so I dyed up some gray yarn, which is, and it bums me out because it's so boring. I don't know why I went gray, but I know once it's knit up, it's going to look pretty cool. But what I did is I put some blues and some violets in there, and I think it's pretty. Ezra, what do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, and speaking of that, my mom, when I was younger, she knitted this. if you can see it, this blanket, which is much bigger. So I would say that she can crochet and knit.
So this one's knitted.
This one's knitted. Some of it is crocheted. And so a lot of this, what she does, she usually does knit. If you could see on the bed, when we go to bed, she'll always be knitting on something or doing something with a spindle. And you know what? You know what she would really like?
What? I don't know.
If you could do it. Well, she would really like a spindle wheel. Just pedals. She would really like that
one. A spinning wheel. One day.
One day she would like a spinning wheel.
Alright. So, I dyed up this gray yarn, I set it out to dry, and hopefully I'll knit it up. Now, this is not 500 yards worth of yarn. And it's on, I believe it's, I forget the base. I'm so bad with bases, but I'll have to start working on that. But anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to knit this up and see how it turns out. It's still a little damp, so I've been putting it out in the sun to dry. So another thing that I'm working on is, so that's that. And another thing I'm working on is I got a sewing machine, so I'm going to be starting to sew. And I have two dress patterns that I want to sew, but I don't know if I want to attack those quite yet, because I'm worried about fit. So anyways, so I'm going to delve into some bags. So I always need knitting bags, and I can never afford to buy them, so I thought I'll just make some. So what I did was, I got this Simplicity, it's, what is it? It's $10.79, and I'm going to do this bag right here. And it has some other little cute things that you can do as well. But anyways, this is a very simple bag. It has two grommets on here where you can pull out the yarn, but I decided I'm not going to do that. So the fabric I got, I just went to Joann Fabrics and I just picked out some cotton yarn that was on sale, nothing big. I want to make sure that I can do it and do it well first before I go and buy expensive fabric, because fabric can be expensive. So anyway, so I got these two patterns, and one, I think I have enough where I can do where one is the outside, one is the inside, one is the inside, one is the outside, and then I got a zipper. Oh my goodness!
This was all from Joann Fabrics.
It's all from Joann Fabrics.
If you have never heard of it,
they've heard of it.
It is the best.
And I got like this teal blue zipper to go on it. I need to get another zipper if I do two bags. So Ezra, when I asked you what you thought about these two fabric, what did you say?
They do not fit. There was one Starry Night, and the Starry Night, and this
there
one.
Was a fabric that had stars on it at night,
and this
he
one
wanted me to get that one.
would probably fit.
Yeah, you think that's?
It was, and the star one was really pretty. It was kind of like a story.
Something
like this.
But anyway, so I like to put different types of fabrics together because I think it's fun. So if you can't tell, but this has like a shimmer to it, this silver gray, and there's some silver in here. Anyways, there's something about these two that I think are kind of cool together. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. So I'm going to work on that this week as well. Okay. I got a Into the World package. I'm in their Wool of the Month class, so I have their beautiful, so pretty. And it's called Studio West. It's classic, June 2016. It's English Shetland. This is a great, I have been wanting to do fiber and wool when I spin. I'm trying to figure out like which fibers, because basically when I was spinning, I was basically spinning just BFL. So I'm trying to explore different types of fibers and see the difference between them as I spin them. So this is kind of great to be in this club. It's pretty inexpensive, and I think it's like $22 a month, and each month you get, it's kind of like a magazine subscription, and each month you get like 4 ounces of wool. And I'm trying to keep up with it, where I'm trying to do 4 ounces a month to spin, and I'm currently behind, but I'll try to catch up. I have been spinning on a Turkish spindle, and I got my Turkish spindle actually from Turtle Made, which is on Etsy, and they do these 3D spindles out of their 3D printer, and they're really cheap. They're like $15, and I love them. I think they work pretty fantastic. I did spin up some of this. This is probably the last stuff I've spun. And I need to, and I didn't, I haven't, did I? I haven't washed it yet. That's what I didn't do. And it's some on hand-dyed wool that I've done. And it's spun much thinner than this. And this is some wool that I dyed. And Ezra was talking about earlier about he wasn't sure if I dyed it or not.
Yeah,
I think I did.
No, before
the wool.
We did it. We messed up a couple times and others when we were doing our podcast, and we had to restart. And in the first one of those podcasts, one of those practice videos, I said, yeah, but it was supposed to be real, but then we
so yeah, I think I did dye this wool, but it's interesting to see how I go to on look at your spindles on the bottom.
Oh sure.
I went to on the first of the month at my local yarn store. They have a spin-in, so I went to a spin-in, and that's where I learned to spin thinner. So that was pretty cool because I really want to spin some really good yarn. So this needs washed, and this has been washed and dried, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might be weaving with it, but I have a whole bunch of yarn. So Ezra has been spinning, and we tried to spin yesterday. Can you talk about it and show them your spinning?
Yes. What?
Where's your spinning spindle? Do you know?
Oh yeah. Let me go get it.
Put it.
So speaking.
Well, hold on. You have to wait till you come back. There you go.
Well,
now you can speak.
So speaking of that, we found out that wasn't the right way. So Mom teaches me.
What wasn't the right way? Oh, the directions that they show in here is a little bit different than what I'm used to. Can you show them your wheel?
Yeah.
Okay, so for his birthday, he got this little. You can talk in a second. For his birthday, he got this little spinning wheel here. This little spindle. Go ahead.
And so she taught me the right way. And when I thought about it, it's like, I really like it. I was interested.
Do you like it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, he didn't like it. He barely even tried it. This is how much we got done. Were you interested at all?
No. Speaking of that, I'm not really interested in that stuff. We're not talking about this, but what I'm interested what I'm really interested in is technology and inventing and stuff. And nature and science. That's all I'm really interested in. I'm not really interested in this in yarn or stuff or I'm not interested in all that.
Unless he can have complete control. So if I give him paper and paints, but then he makes a huge mess. And currently we're living in a house where he can't make a huge mess, but previously, in the houses that we've had in the past, he's had complete freedom. I just put all the stuff outside, and then he just gets it wet, adds dirt. He does his own creation.
No, I used to come ants.
Oh.
And I went...
Ezra.
Well, now I made a promise to me. I was saying, like, if I'm in, like, nature, I can't kill lizards or ants, and I have to be nice to the cats.
He used to try to capture the lizards and give them to the cats.
Yeah.
As a treat.
As a treat for being nice. And I can't mess with the cats anymore.
And the ants used to make him mad because they used to sting him. Because we have fire ants here in Florida. In the last house we had, they had fire ants all over the place. We didn't have them like that.
So I told now today I said I'm not going to do it anymore. So now I say I used to do it. So it's your turn.
Okay.
So
we are So we are going to talk a little bit more about my yarn dyeing. In fact, today I actually pulled out all the yarn that I've dyed, and I'm trying to assess it and see what it is that I need to do to make it even better than it already is. So again, it's OnceUponaTime YARNS. I do have an Etsy shop, and I did set up a forum on Reverly. And if you go to the forum post, it's not posted yet, because after this podcast I'll go ahead and post it, but if you go to the forum post, you could answer the question, which do you think is easier, crochet or knitting, and why? And maybe we'll send out a prize. Do you think we should send them a prize?
Yeah, and the prize will. I know what the prize will be.
No, you can't tell them yet.
No, I won't
talk about it first.
I won't tell them the prize, but whoever does that will get. Well, let me see. This is what I'm thinking. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, but we'll talk about it. What I'm thinking is, for my blog, you'll get. I'm gonna start doing pictures, and I'll send them to you, and you can.
Yeah.
And I can send them to you.
Take a picture.
And you can.
Maybe you can put a picture, and it could be a postcard or something.
And you will get 3 from Yarngasm shop.
What? This isn't. Yarngasm is not.
Well, no.
We have nothing to do with
no,
Yarngasm.
not shop, but
Actually, you can't say that.
not shop.
But she's a company.
Not
business.
Not Yarngasm or anything. Not shop. Except that. What I mean is maybe we'll send that person a free yarn. No, not a free yarn. Just a yarn that maybe we have and we can give away.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
it.
But
maybe, not on the podcast.
We're not going to do that,
Yeah.
maybe. We'll just talk about it after the podcast.
So back to yarn dyeing. So this morning, what I did was I was hand dyeing. I was trying to make this gray. Because the hardest part I have is that I see something in my head, how I want it to look, and then getting it to look that color is kind of difficult. So that's my frustration with yarn dyeing. So I've started with cattle dye. And then I'm doing hand dyeing. So this is some hand dyeing that I did this morning. And I was trying to make, it's so ugly. I think it's really ugly.
I think it's beautiful, Ashley.
It might be. Sometimes when it's wet, it looks really ugly. And then when it dries up, it's doable. There's something you can do with it. I was trying to experiment with grays and blues and greens and yellows and see what I got. I'm trying to stay away from the, what is it? The stickling, where it's everything's speckled. I'm not sure. I know it's really trendy right now, but I'm not sure if I really personally like that aesthetic. But anyways, I know it's really popular and people really love it. And there's some beautiful yarn out there that people are dyeing. So I'm still working on it. Well, thank you, Ezra. All right. So now we're moving on to fine arts. And the last time I saw you, I was working on my art piece, which I still have not touched. It's really hard. It's Ezra and I all day long. And we are on summer, but it's kind of hard being an artist and having a full-time job. I think there was an artist who went to an island. Gauguin? He left his family and he went to an island and he became a painter. Being an artist is hard because you feel like you have to be in the right mood to paint. Maybe you need quiet to paint. I have the most energy in the mornings, but usually we're kind of like either at the beach or off doing something. So by the time he goes to sleep, I'm not a night person, so usually I'm out of energy. So I'm like, okay, tomorrow. So I have not yet started it, but it is on my list and I am going to get it done. So I have started another area that I'd like to go down to, or an avenue I'd like to go down with my artwork, is incorporating fiber arts somehow, and I've been really into stitching and embroidery arts. Anyways, so Christmas, December, we're in June now, I got this for Christmas, and I had her set it up. It's a needlepoint canvas, and so I started working on some needlepoint here. This is all I got. But I'm not finished with it yet. I still have ideas. So basically what I'm trying to do is take the artwork that I'm doing with my ink and my pen, and I'm trying to kind of move on into a different direction with my needlepoint and stitching, and I'm trying to figure out how to merge the two. I got this really cool book from this bookstore that Ezra and I went to. It's in downtown Sarasota. It's this really cool bookstore. It's Brandt's Books, and it's just a bunch of books. It's like tons of books everywhere. And it's called The Open Canvas. And I thought this was really cool. It shows you, I love old books on knitting. Basically, I like old books on stitching, like embroidery, needlepoint. I think they're really cool. I think this one was from 84, maybe. The color choices, the designs, and everything, they're kind of neat. But what this does, and what inspired, or what kind of, it's inspiring, it's the way that they're using the canvas and they're opening up the work. And this kind of relates to my artwork. So as you can see, there's one there, there's one there, and there's some in there. It's a really neat book, and it shows you some interesting ways, but I think these are really cool, and I can see my artwork kind of being inspired by some of the stitches that they use in this book. So open canvas, what does that mean? So it's basically a needlepoint canvas, and what they do is they do stitches in such a way that they're pulling the canvas together like that. So it's kind of neat.
Speaking.
Okay. So then when we were at the bookstore, Ezra was really into Jurassic Park because this bookstore was really cool.
So we got.
So will you tell them about this book that you got?
So
We just watched Jurassic Park.
No, we didn't, Mom. I watched all 3 of them. All 3 of them.
Okay, so what's the book of? At the bookstore? He really wanted this book. Can you tell them what the title is?
Because I watched all 3 of them, and the first one was good.
Yeah,
Third one was gross.
The first one's always the best.
The second one was okay, good.
Can you read them the title?
The Science of Jurassic Park and the Lost World.
So it's the science of the Jurassic Park, like whether or not it could actually happen.
The Lost World is the 3rd one.
So
the Lost World is the 3rd one, and I'm digging for Amber on this one. This page. I just started. No, not. I just started.
In fact, you haven't even looked at it yet.
Yes, I have. Stop it, Mom.
All right.
I have. Just listen to me.
So anyway, it seems pretty interesting. That bookstore was pretty cool. So that's the way my art's kind of going. I just need to find the time to do it. Oops, I'm sorry, sweetie. So the last time we talked to you, I'm also incorporating art education in here, and we are currently on summer break. So the way I'm going to incorporate art education in here for summer is just kind of show you some of the summer things that I'm doing with Ezra, or just some of the things that I'm thinking about for my students. So the one thing that he did, and would you like to show them?
That's what I was about to say. That leaf. I was about to say that, and when I said, speaking of, I was about to say about this leaf. And this leaf, I painted.
They can't see
I
it.
painted.
Hold it up close to the camera. So can you tell them how you painted it?
I painted it. And so I did polka dots for one, and I smothered it. I did that. The first part, the paint, my box of paints.
Yeah, he got an art set from Grandma.
Well, I wanted it. I asked him for it because it had paint and stuff. And so I, let me see.
Here, can I hold it so that people can see it? You need to hold it close so that they can see it, how beautiful
And so
it is.
I did the polka dots and I smeared them like this.
So we used watercolors from his paint set.
And I smeared them like this. And that's basically all. And the back side is this.
Yeah, we left it the normal shape.
Have you ever heard of Tunes Gone? Well, that's where we got the leaf.
No, we didn't.
Oh, we went to, no, but.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Where?
At the park.
Ringling Museum.
Yeah, Ringling Museum.
They have the best leaves.
This leaf used to be green. It
did.
Yeah, remember? Mm-hmm. Remember it used to be green? Now it's
brown.
Now it's brown.
All right. So I am very into sticks. And the stick behind us we found up in St. Pete, this one right here, up in St. Pete. And I made Ezra take it home. He thinks I'm crazy. And I love leaves, too. So I think leaves are really cool. But he did a really fantastic job on that. So we'll just leave that hanging right there somewhere.
I do think she's crazy.
Duh.
Well,
I don't know why I love sticks and leaves. It's just the weirdest thing in the whole entire world. Where's the weaving that you had? Do you know where the weaving is?
Yeah. I don't think that either. We just did it before the podcast.
So the weaving we did a stick. I found a stick that looked like this.
This is the thing I did. I did this one.
Yeah, so why don't you talk about that?
I did this right here.
Hold it up so people can see it.
I did this. It's very, very smooth. Very, very smooth. And we did it homemade. Again, she loves sticks, and this is where she caught it. And we're going to weave on it.
So you were weaving with wool. The wool
Yeah.
that he got that he didn't like from the spinning, so I thought we could use that because it was thicker. Because I thought if he used a thin yarn, he would probably get impatient and bored quick because that takes some time. So we used the big, thick piece of wool for him to weave. So it looks like you finished it up. It seems at first when I gave it to you, you weren't quite into it. So what do you think? Are you going to finish it up with more color, or do you think you're just going to leave it like that?
Maybe I might do something to it, but it's a surprise. I don't know what I want to do to it, but I might do something to it, but not weave it.
Okay.
I might just do this. I might do something to it. You never know. It's a surprise. Next podcast, I will show you.
Yeah.
And you can see.
Yeah. So another thing that I'm thinking about for art education, and this is very simple, very simple. I had all my students take, and I think it's really cool. They call them the naked crayons. So the crayons without the, I have a huge bag. The crayons without the paper. Look at all those crayons. Isn't that crazy?
Actually, they were here the last podcast. I think because we're doing it longer. We're gonna do it like for an hour. But last time we only did it from 17 minutes. So
So his aim is to make it longer. But anyways, so I'm going to take these crayons and I am going to melt them down. And they have these really cool molds. If you go online, I mean, they have everything online. But they have like dinosaurs, acorns for the fall. And so what you do is just on low heat, you just put these in the, you crack them up. You can put all one color. You can mix the colors. You can add sparkles. I'm sure if you go online, you can see other things that you can add. And you can tell the difference between a yucky crayon that melts yucky and then a crayon that is a good crayon that melts nicely. So when you you find a mold that's really cool, and you put them in the molds, you melt them, and then you put them, as soon as they come out of the oven, you put them directly into the freezer and let them cool.
Oh.
And then they will come out easier for some reason. So that's
here's one that I smashed. That I did some artwork to it. I put some glue. I smashed it together, and it was smashed. I got it out already, but I smashed it into glue and stuff, so it's kind of stuck in that. And I baked it a little, so it would stay, and so it's kind of like stuck.
So the next thing that I'm going to do with him is I thought we can go to the store, or just even, like, I think at Home Depot you can ask them if they have any spare wood for free, and they'll give you just like a chunk of wood for free, or even, I'm sure, you can go dumpster diving and find some wood. And I'm going to have him start hammering with some nails, and then once those nails are in the piece of wood, you can take some string and you can start making some artwork using the string on the nails.
Speaking of technology,
Hold on a second. Why don't you show them your snap circuits?
Yes.
Okay, here, I'll take that. So Ezra's been working on his snap circuits.
I don't want to break it, so can you?
No, I'll hold it like this so that they can see it. So go ahead.
No, I want to show them how.
Yeah, I'll hold it and you talk. All right. So he took the basic plan of a snap circuit.
No, I didn't do the basic plan. There's lots of plans. This is actually not. I add some stuff to it, as you see. Here, there's lots of buttons. Okay, on. Now this, if you put it on the wed one, it will go wed. And now, here's the thing. What was the black thing? Did you know the black thing? Okay. Now watch if you do this. We don't need that anyway. But it would go wed if you put it.
What's he doing?
Just keep watching. If you put it on hard enough. See?
That it stops the sound? Is that what's going on?
And then this, because of the light, it will make the stuff like this. And this button, I added this, and that, and this, and that, and that. So I could put this on here. Yeah. So it could go like wed.
They have basic plans that you can do. So he did the basic plan, and then he started adding more to see what would happen if, kind of thing.
So this will. I added this. So I added this, and it will go like that. And so watch what happen if I do this. Now, if you see, this will still have the wed on, but in the on, but it'll stop the voice. And if you do it like this, still same, but as you start getting a change.
Boop, 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 boop. It's like fireworks.
Like that sound?
It's absolutely marvelous. So I actually got these for him when he was probably 5. And he was too young. So I put him back and I just got them out. And I think he's the perfect age. 8 is the magic number. So he's old enough now to look at the plans, follow them himself.
Now let me show you one that is different from all the other ones.
Ooh, see? It's making different sounds. It's pretty cool.
Because this connects to this one, it makes this right here is making the sounds. So if I put this right here, so basically the speaker will do the stuff, and then the batteries are here. Yeah, so basically it's snapped. It's electric energy. So that's basically what it is.
Pretty cool. Thank you.
And this is how you turn it off. And this right here, I don't know what that does, but it makes the wed go on. And I had to connect that so it makes the wed go on. And then this, you know what this does.
Flashing!
I made this connect to this to this to this. So this wed would go on, but usually it just gives you dark.
Okay. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool.
Watch this. but it's really bright if you see it in person.
I bet.
Look how bright that is. Ooh.
So, we spend a lot of time at the library, and currently, we love to read, don't we? Let's shut that off because the sound is really not fun.
No, it isn't.
Oh, before we move on, our Aunt Becky, a long time ago,
got us buttons.
got us these really cool buttons.
That we can do.
It's called the Button Factory. And we have yet, it's backwards, and we have yet to do that. I will work on the backwards thing. But it's really cool because you can take some fabric and you can put some fabric onto buttons, and you can even embroider onto the buttons. So this is something that we're going to be working on this week as well. And so that we're doing the hammer with the nails and the string, and then we're going to do the buttons, I think, the next week. I think that'll be kind of cool. So back to reading. So for reading, I am reading The Rebel Queen by Michelle Moran, which is about when Great Britain took over India. It's historical fiction, so I don't know how much of it is true, but it's pretty interesting. It's a good read. It's a fast read. And Ezra, would you like to... Oh, I got Ezra for his birthday. It's called A Domesday of Gnomes, and it's all backwards. It's A Domesday of Gnomes. It's seven gentle gnome stories by Sieglind de Francesca. I'm probably killing that name. But it's pretty cool. Little book that we're going to read at night. And even though he is 8, I still try to read to him every single night and sing to him every single night, just like I've done since he was a baby.
Yep. And I sleep before too. We don't have. Yeah, I sleep before like every night since I was a baby.
And so
when I was a baby, I wouldn't do that. And I think when the kid is ready, you shouldn't. No.
We don't need to tell other people what to do.
I'm not saying, but I'm just tradition. So that is in my head.
Okay. Well, let's talk about... Our Aunt Becky gave us this book called Just So Stories. It's like this old book, which I love old books. And so we've been reading from Just So Stories, and he's actually skipped ahead and read a couple stories without me. And then, Ezra, can you talk about this book that you're reading?
Oh, this book,
What's it called?
Well, 52. It's
What's the name? What's the
Soccer
title?
on Sunday, Magic Tree House.
It's a Magic Tree House.
A Mormon Mission, which, if Mary Pope, the author, are you watching?
And you seem to really like that book.
Yeah, I do.
How come?
Well, books. I've read, these are the first ones I've read, because they're the first ones that Mary Pope made, and so this is 52. They just completed the Secret of Greatness mission. It is a Mormon mission, and I read the whole book. They go to Camelot.
So why do you like this one?
Not Camelot, to go to find Secret of Greatness. Next, we never know what the next book is going to be and what the 4 adventures is. They completed the 4 adventures of Secret of Greatness. Now let's see if the 5 or 10 adventures.
So why did you like this one the best? It seems like you were really interested in this one and you wanted me to get the next one. How come? Like, what was so interesting?
I'm not really interested in this one. No.
Well,
what
do I know?
I'm not interested in this one. I just read it like a normal person. And pretty much.
And if you can think of any other books for kids that you like, just let us know, because we're always looking for new books. This is a whole new realm for me, because I'm really into picture books, but as far as chapter books, I don't know much about that area, so let us know.
So, let us know on my podcast with a comment.
Yeah,
or tag my mom on Instagram. I think I might go on Instagram too.
Whatever. I think we have enough technology going on now. So what are we going to do today? Today's been kind of...
Well, I would like to go to the water park, but she said no. I would like to go to Oscar Shear Park. Oscar Shear Park, because they have a nature pool where it's a lake, which can cost
with alligators.
With alligators, which you can swim in. It's okay. I'm not scared.
I think.
And also, if you are cool, Mom, you can go to the water park.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to go. The water park to go.
The Wida Park. Get it? The Wida Park? Because it's at the Y.
It's only $14.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to be up to today. It's Friday. And we're just kind of taking it easy. And Ezra's learning how to just kind of be bored and just kind of do nothing and not have me entertaining him. I have also told him during the summer, we always do fun things, but we shouldn't expect to do fun things every single day, because It shouldn't be like a roller coaster ride all day long. So he hates that. But the snack circuits have come in handy. We do live, I was telling him how we were listening to this podcast about space, and it was interesting because I have always wanted to have a tiny home. Like, I thought that was the coolest idea in the whole entire world. So things happened in our life last year, and so we ended up in it's basically an efficiency. It's a room.
Basically, yeah. Basically, we got kicked out of our house.
Okay, no, listen. We did not get kicked out of our house.
I'm just kidding.
They sold our house that we were renting, and so we needed to find a different place. And the rent is very high here in Sarasota. And I am a single, in Venice area. So, and I'm a single mom, and so I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to pay high rent? Anyways, it's a long story. So we're in a very small space. And I was telling him I was listening to this, to Tiny Paper Foxes. They said that they lived in New York City in about a 400 square feet space. And so they were discussing on how that, and I like how she says making instead of crafting. So she was discussing how, it really affected the way she made things, and I'm trying really hard to not have that affect the way we make things. Now, don't feel too bad for us, because we can walk to the beach, and just a couple streets over, we're right by on the main street with lots of shops and restaurants, and there's a water park, there's a library, and there's all that kind of fun stuff. So, I mean, it's a beautiful space that we're living in, too. This house was built in 1927. We have glass doorknobs on the doors. So it's a beautiful space, just a very small space. And I forget where I was going with this, but...
You forget what?
Oh, so hopefully soon, within the next 6 months,
six months, we will leave this house.
Yeah, we'll have a nice house to expand in, and so it would be nice to have space.
And so if we'll still do we'll still do our podcast by that time, and so you might see a different house. Maybe. And so we're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you, but if you do see a kind of different, or just know that it's our new house.
So, anyways, so Ezra would like to talk about nature. So, we made some mango popsicles. So, would you like to show them the mango? We picked these mangoes from our old house. We had a mango tree in our old house.
This is the same mango. These are very, very fresh. Kind of the same video as I post on my podcast.
So we picked them off the tree. I peeled them. I gave him one, and he spit it out into the it tasted. But what I did is I took the mangoes, I blended them with some mint and some lemonade and some lime, and I froze them into popsicles. And they're pretty yummy. I had one last night. Will you try one?
No, but bye.